of emails about this overnight, so Theo Chicumba is here now with a roundup for us. Theo.
Yes, Janine. Well, it's scooters like one of these ones that you're about to see which have caused a stir. Now, one of these is pretty easy to use. You just get one, you sign up through your phone and go on the app and you can use it as a pay-as-you-go. Now, some of the concerns that we received from you who watched last night are saying if we're partially blind or sighted or deaf, you can't see or hear them, especially when they're left on the side of the road. Now, let's go on to some of your other comments. First, this one from Wendy in Milton Keynes. She says, I am absolutely against the e-scooters. Their main pro is meant to be that they are environmentally friendly. However, I believe a lot of time they're being used for fun rather than an alternative to driving cars, taxis and buses. Now on to Graham, on to the next one from Kettering. He says you're only meant to ride scooters where you ride bicycles, that is, not on the pavement and only with a single rider. These rules are often broken.
Graham there talking about the rules, Theo. Can you just run us through them? What exactly are they?
Yes, of course. Well, let's make a distinction here. There are two versions here. There's those who own personal scooters and those that use one of these, which are part of the government-backed trial. Private scooters, you can't use them on private roads, so you can't use them on cycle lanes, on pavements or on the roads with other road users. You must only use them on private land. And now let's go into the rules of these ones with Voy specifically. They have told me that driving license is mandatory, so when you sign up you have to have one. You're not allowed to drink and drive whilst you're using them, and you're not allowed to do tandem riding when you're using them, so only meaning one person at a time, and you have to be 18 and over to use one of these scooters. And the golden rule is that you must wear a helmet. Now, earlier today I spoke to Cambridgeshire Police and asked them how they're working with the public to ensure safety.
What we've been doing is sharing leaflets with them that sets out the legislation, and there's a link to the government website that highlights where they can find more detail about legislation. And then finally, and as a last resort, we're enforcing. And that's only where the engage and educate aspects haven't worked. So where we've engaged and educated, members of the public continue to use the scooters in an unlawful way, then at that juncture, we're looking at enforcing Road Traffic Act offences.
Well, Theo, I know we had a lot of critics get in touch with us over the past 24 hours. Any supporters?
Yes, there were. In those mixed reviews, there were. Let's start with this one from Darren. He says, my boys use these to commute to and from work. They don't have to wait for buses or taxis. There is a lot of hate as it is teenagers using them and people tar them all with the same brush. And then this final one from Jade Collier. She says, e-scooters trial is fantastic. People are choosing more economic ways to travel. The risk to the general public is of no higher risk than when you encounter a push bike or electric bike. Now, as we've seen, there is a lot of mixed reviews on these e-scooters, and it's a difficult subject for many people. The government-backed trial was due to end this August, but it's now been extended to the end of March 2022.
Theo, thank you very much indeed.